After Christmas dinner, I checked my phone and saw that my credit card had been charged for all the gifts. Dad looked at me and said, "We took a vote. You don't have kids, so you should pay for the ones who do." My hands were shaking as I picked up my phone and told him, "Then you're really going to enjoy what's coming next." He laughed, like I was joking. But the next day, my phone blew up, 53 missed calls. Cousins yelling. Mom crying. And Dad, actually begging me to stop. But by then, it was too late. Earlier at dinner, I had glanced at my phone under the table and froze. A charge of $13,642 had just gone through on my card. At first, I thought it was a mistake, but then I saw the details: department stores, toy stores, online gift shops, all the Christmas presents. "Who did this?" I asked softly, my voice cutting through the noise of wrapping paper and cheesy holiday music. Dad looked up from his wine like nothing had happened. "We voted," he said calmly. "You don't have kids. We all do. So we thought it was fair if you covered the gifts for the little ones." I blinked. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. He explained it like it was just common sense. I looked around the table. Mom looked down at her food. My sister acted like she didn't hear, her twins tearing into Lego sets I apparently paid for. Cousin Jeff gave me a look like, "Yeah, it's messed up, but what can you do? You used my card without asking?" I said. "You decided I'd pay for everything just because I'm single?" Mom mumbled, "You always say you like helping." Helping? I almost laughed. Helping is when I offer. This was planned behind my back. "Don't be so dramatic," Dad said. "It's just money. You have plenty." My heart was pounding. I looked around the table, 12 people, half of whom don't talk to me unless they need something. They had all quietly agreed that I should fund their Christmas. "Unbelievable," I said, standing up. "Sit down," one cousin snapped. "Don't ruin the mood. The kids are having fun." "Oh, I'm not ruining the mood," I said, pulling out my phone. "I'm ending the whole show." Dad raised an eyebrow. "What's that supposed to mean?" I looked him dead in the eye. "It means you're going to love what happens next." He laughed. He thought I was bluffing. But he wasn't laughing the next day. Because by then, I had already hit send. There was no going back. People think realizing your family only sees you as a walking wallet happens all at once, but it doesn't. It happens slowly, like a leak under the floor. You only see the damage when the whole thing falls apart. It had been building for years. After college, I got a decent job in tech. Nothing crazy, just stable work with a regular paycheck. My sister had a baby at 23 and moved back home. My cousin dropped out of school to figure things out. For years, my parents told me everyone was just going through a tough time. And me? I was the one who had it all together. "You're doing well. You don't need much. You're lucky, you should share that luck," my mom used to say. My aunt once said that while taking a rent check from me, for her adult son. At first, it was small things: buying school supplies, giving someone gas money, pitching in for a birthday gift I never agreed to. But then it became non-stop. I paid my brother's rent for 6 months when he lost his job. I funded my cousin's small business that never took off. I paid Uncle Greg's medical bills when he didn't have insurance. I didn't complain. I thought, this is what family does. But families shouldn't drain you dry and call it kindness. They took, and I let them. And the worst part? They acted like they were doing me a favor. You get to feel good for helping. Your name's on the group card, that's special. Don't be so uptight. We're family. No one ever said thank you. It wasn't just about money. It was time, energy, emotional effort. I was the default babysitter, the emergency contact, the backup plan. One Christmas Eve, I got the flu and told Mom I couldn't come. She texted back, "Okay, but can you still send the gifts? The kids are counting on you." I remember sitting on my bathroom floor, sick, and thinking, why do they only remember me when there's a price tag attached? The moment it really hit me, the moment everything started to change. It was 3 months before that Christmas dinner, when I took my niece to a bookstore and told her to pick out anything she wanted. I spent $150 that day. My niece walked out with art supplies, hardcover books, and a giant stuffed sloth she named Slumpy. She was over the moon. And I was happy until I dropped her off. Where's Slumpy from? My sister asked. I smiled. We picked it out together today. She frowned. You're spoiling her. You think you're the fun uncle just because you have money. I blinked. What? She rolled her eyes. Maybe try spending less on toys and more on getting a personality. That hit me like a slap. I had just spent my whole weekend with her kid, time I could have used to rest, go on a date, or do anything else. And instead of a thank you, I got insulted. Like being generous made me a joke. That was the moment I saw it all clearly. Not her mask slipping, mine. I stopped pretending they cared. I saw them for what they really were, people who only knew how to take. Experts in guilt trips. They didn't respect me. Honestly, I don't even think they liked me. To them, I wasn't family, I was their bank account. Then December rolled around. Christmas planning started in the family group chat around mid-November. Of course, they wanted me to host. Again, buy gifts for all the kids. Again, play Santa with a credit card. Again. This year, I was ready to say no. I really thought I would. But then Dad texted me directly. You're good at this stuff, why don't you just handle all the gifts again? We'll settle up later. Funny thing is, no one ever settled up. Not last year, not the year before. So I replied, short and sharp. Only if we agree in advance who's paying. He read it, never replied. 3 weeks went by. I figured maybe they'd taken the hint. I was wrong. Because they used my backup card instead. A card I gave Mom years ago, just in case of emergency. She still had the info, and apparently, she'd shared it. The statement showed charges from 5 different stores, not even near her home. She didn't buy a thing, they did. And when I brought it up at dinner, they laughed. Laughed. Dad actually said, we voted, you don't have kids, so you should pay for the ones who do. Like it made sense, like it was fair, like I didn't get a say. And I realized they really believed that. They thought that because I don't have kids, I owed them something, that my time, my peace, my money didn't matter as much. When I stood up and said, you're going to love what comes next, they didn't even blink. Dad laughed. Because to them, I was bluffing. I always had been. That night, I couldn't sleep. Not from guilt, not anymore. But I wasn't at peace yet, either. I lay there, thinking about every insult, every time they made me feel like I didn't measure up because I didn't have their chaos, their kids, their debt. Like that made them better. And me, disposable. But when the sun came up and lit my ceiling with soft orange light, I felt something shift. No more doubt, no more hesitating. Not just anger, clarity. If they wanted to play democracy, fine. Time to cast my vote. I opened my laptop and wrote. Subject, holiday contribution changes, body. Starting now, I will no longer be providing any financial support to the extended family. That includes Christmas gifts, birthday gifts, for kids or adults, school tuition, rent help, emergency Venmo requests, car repairs, vet bills, or streaming subscriptions. If you've already used my cards, expect a chargeback. If you've saved or shared my card info without permission, expect legal action. You voted. Now I'm voting back. Merry Christmas. The childless one. And I hit send. To everyone. My parents, my sister, 6 cousins, even my aunt, who still thinks I owe her because she babysat me once when I was 4. Then I turned off my phone. It took them 7 hours and 16 minutes to break. When I turned my phone back on, it blew up in my hand. 53 missed calls. Texts from everyone. Voicemails from crying relatives. Cousins threatening to sue me for emotional harm. Mom left a message that started with I'm heartbroken, and ended with, you've really let us down. Dad called 12 times. The last voicemail was just one line. Please, for the love of God, don't do this. But it was already done. Because when they finally realized what a chargeback meant, I had already called the bank. The fraud claim had gone through. Over $3,600 in charges were flagged. The Barbie houses? On hold. The Nerf guns? Cancelled. The iPads and boxes under the tree? Returned. I froze the emergency card. Later that night, My cousin Sarah tried to use it to book a hotel. It declined, twice. And all hell broke loose. The next day, my uncle called me. He's one of the only ones who never asked me for money, but he also never stood up when others did. His voice was quiet, almost embarrassed. Your mom's crying. She says you ruined Christmas. I didn't even blink. No, I said. They ruined it when they turned it into a transaction. He sighed. They were just overwhelmed. No, I interrupted. They were entitled. There's a difference. There was a long pause. You really went through with the chargebacks? I already did. Another pause. Well, I can't say they didn't deserve it. Then he hung up. That was the last calm message I got for a while. 3 days later, I came home from work and found them waiting on my porch. Mom, Dad, and my sister Rachel, arms crossed, face full of disgust. Can we talk? Mom asked, voice shaking. I opened the door just enough. Say what you came to say. We didn't mean for things to go this way, she said quickly. We just thought. What? I cut in. That I'd shut up and pay again? That I'd smile and say, sure, rob me blind, but let's do it with eggnog? Dad tried to calm things down. Let's not turn this into a war. We're family. I laughed, loud. You started the war the moment you used my card and called it voting. That wasn't family. That was betrayal. Rachel rolled her eyes. Oh my God. Are you still going on about this? We didn't drain your whole bank account. I paid for your car last summer. I snapped. Because you couldn't drive with a cracked windshield. You said you'd pay me back. She scoffed. You make 6 figures. You'll be fine. And that, right there, was the final straw. That's exactly why I'm done. To you all, I'm not a person. I'm a wallet that sometimes brings food. Mom started crying. We just wanted the kids to have a good Christmas. So you stole from me? Dad stepped forward. That's enough. Fix this. Undo the chargebacks. Now. I said nothing, just stared at him. So he changed tactics. Think about how this looks, he said, voice dark. Do you really want people saying you betrayed your family over some toys? Still no blink, just calm. No, I said. I want people to say I finally stood up for myself. Then I said the words that shut them all up. I'm done with all of you. I've blocked your numbers. And this weekend, I'm moving out of state, alone. They were stunned. I opened the door. Now get off my porch. The next 2 days, quiet. No calls, no guilt-tripping texts, no family check-ins pretending to be kind. For the first time in years, I could breathe. I sat on the floor with coffee and music, realizing I didn't owe anyone anything anymore. Nobody expected me to fix their mess or save the day. It was peaceful. But I knew my family, they wouldn't let go that easily. On day 3, they started crawling back with manipulation. Maybe we should talk like adults. Your mom's sick from stress. Happy now? The kids keep asking why Uncle Ghost doesn't call. I saw the texts. I ignored them. Because I knew the truth. They didn't miss me. They missed what I gave them. Then something unexpected happened. A message from my cousin Jason. I messed up. Can we talk? I didn't reply. An hour later, he showed up at my door. He looked different, clean, hair brushed, wearing a blazer and a watch. Like he was pretending to be someone responsible. I'm taking online classes, marketing, he said. Started working with a friend. I'm really trying. I stayed silent. He looked down. I was jealous of you, he said. You had peace. I didn't. That's why I acted like that. I tilted my head. You here for money? No, he said. I just wanted you to know, I'm not your shadow anymore. He left. 30 minutes later, I got a bank alert. Someone tried to reset my online account. Guess who? Jason. He hadn't changed. He came to test me. To see if I still believed their lies. I locked everything down, froze the card, alerted my bank again. That was the last time anyone in my family got close to my life. Then came freedom. I ended my lease, took a new job in another state. More money, new apartment. No family within 400 miles. But the best part? A message from Jason's wife, Kelly. I saw what he did. I'm filing for divorce. And thank you. You were the only one who ever helped. That hit harder than I expected. She knew. She always knew. But she stayed quiet, until now. And suddenly I understood something. Maybe choosing myself gave someone else the courage to choose themselves too. Before I left town, I sent one final message to the family group chat. I renamed it. This bank has permanently closed. Try loving instead. Then I hit leave chat. As I drove away, my car full of boxes and music playing loud, I smiled. I was alone. And for the first time, it felt like peace. Not punishment. Freedom. It's funny how quiet life gets when you stop talking to people who never really listen to you. After I moved to a new state, changed my number, and blocked every one of them, the silence wasn't lonely. It was peaceful. No more texts asking, "Can you cover rent just this once?" No more guilt wrapped in fake concern. No more phone calls from people who only showed up when their bills did. They were gone. Not just out of sight, cut off completely. For the first time in my adult life, I wasn't tied to anyone else's survival. And for the first time, I was surviving on my own terms. I got a new apartment. Nothing fancy, but it was mine. My rules, my budget. My fridge only had things I liked. That first night, I turned on Do Not Disturb. Not because I thought someone would call, but because I knew no one would. And that felt amazing. There's a kind of healing that happens in real quiet, when you don't have to explain yourself. When no one's testing your boundaries. When you finally stop asking yourself, am I being too harsh? You're not. You're being free. Of course, they tried to sneak back in. New numbers, blocked. Voicemails, deleted. Even a burner Instagram account that messaged me, "Come home, we're family, enough is enough." I actually laughed. Enough is enough? That's what I said when they voted to steal from me and laughed in my face. That's what I said when my dad told me I should give more, because I didn't have kids. That's what I said when my brother tried to hack my bank account again. But now, enough isn't a request. It's a line they'll never cross again. I started therapy. Told my therapist the whole story. She didn't look shocked, just nodded and said, "You were taught that love has to be earned by giving things up." That sentence stayed with me. Because that's exactly how it felt. They made me believe that if I didn't give money, time, help, I wasn't worth anything. That if I didn't pay, I didn't belong. That love was a trade. But that's not love. That's control. And I got out. People ask me now, "Do you regret cutting them off?" Not even close. I only regret not doing it sooner. I regret all the birthday parties I paid for and wasn't even invited to. I regret every plan I canceled to help someone with their electric bill. I regret remembering every cousin's kid's birthday, while they forgot mine, every year. I regret letting them convince me I was the selfish one. But now, I don't flinch. They made their choice when they decided I was useful, not loved. They voted. And now, so did I. Unanimous, cut off. Here's the part they didn't see coming. I'm doing better than ever. I got promoted. I started traveling. I'm dating someone who doesn't want anything from me but truth and time. I picked up photography. I'm learning to cook real food, not just scarfing down takeout at midnight while covering someone else's rent. I even adopted a dog. I named her Balance. She's calm, loyal, and only wants love from me. Which is more than I can say about most of my relatives. Just when I thought the story was over, I got a text from a number I didn't know. "He's out, we're getting divorced. I wanted you to know." It was Kelly, Jason's ex-wife. She finally left him. Turns out, his changed man act didn't last. He lost his job, got drunk, burned through his money, and tried to use my bank info again. She told me, "You were the only one who ever saw it clearly. I didn't believe you then, I do now." And that's when it really hit me. This wasn't just about walking away. It was about finally refusing to carry the lie. Sometimes, when you leave, you don't just save yourself. You help someone else finally see the truth too. I didn't lose a family. I escaped a scam. So now, when people ask me, "What happened with your family?" I just smile. And I say, I used to be the one who paid for Christmas. Now, I'm the one who saved myself from it.